We did.
Familiar. I think we met at another event.
Probably.
Nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Good morning.
John, nice to meet you.
Good morning. Yeah.
Christopher, nice to meet you.
Sets the bar.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He said he Tape on the floor, guys. Stay inside the tape.
Do we just start? Oh, okay. 3 million. 3 million is the number of students around the United States that do not have the access to technology. That covers about 70% students that are actively in schools, whether it's kindergarten through 12th grade.
Hello, we are Delovan and we teach a web development class.
As Delovan, we want to teach the younger generations what we have learned here at school, whether it's technology or website design through coding.
I'm Cherokee, I'm the CFO. My part in Delovan is keeping track of all the money that comes in the business and all the money we spend.
I'm Reshma, I'm the CCO. I control the development of our business and how we grow. I'll also control the marketing tactics and how we're going to get our name out there.
Hello, I'm Destiny, I'm the CEO, and what I do is project management, so I oversee all the projects within Delovan.
Hi, I'm John Paul, I'm the CTO. I handle the tech within our business.
Hello, I'm Christopher. I am the CMO. I am in charge of the social medias, whether it's Instagram or Facebook.
As Delovan, we want to ensure that all students have the education provided to learn technology through a basics of HTML and CSS.
So our vision as Delovan is to prepare the youth for the future using technology to their advantage.
As Delovan, we value our students and their willingness to learn. For the customer, we're going to be aiming for mostly children and parents. The children, so that way if they want to dip their toe into coding, they perfectly well can, while as for parents, it's mostly if they want their children to at least learn coding.
Through our research, we found out that our main problem was the younger generation's grades from 4th grade to 8th grade didn't have the access to technology, so that's why we're here to be able to teach them.
And as a solution to this problem, we are going to be hosting basic HTML and CSS classes so we can hopefully generate a future generation of coders.
Okay, so the way we're going to market and get our name out there is because we are a local business, so we're going to focus here in Fresno. And what better way to market is through Instagram and Facebook. Through Instagram, we're going to tag our school and Fresno to show where we are, where we're going to host our classes. And through Facebook, there are a lot of busy parents out there that don't really need to look at ads, so we're going to put our ad on Facebook, so when they scroll through the post and see something about Fresno, they'll notice that they'll like it and give it to their children. And so,
as you've seen, we're trying to go with a family-friendly theme, because once again, we are working with children, and we want to show that the parents that we are welcoming to be able to in charge of their kids, since that's who we are teaching since they are younger. So we're trying to get that family-friendly theme throughout our whole business.
So now we would like to show you a bit of our website. So our website is a work in progress because we do eventually want to make it have more tabs in the navigation and make it a lot better than it looks now. So as Christian has previously said, we are catering to both parents and children. So that's why we chose these friendly poppy colors. So it'll engage whoever's on our website, viewers. So also on our homepage, we have a brief description of what their students will be learning in our 1-week sessions. So we have learning web design, HTML, and CSS, and we wanted to make sure that everyone knew what they were getting into when they decided to join our sessions. So now our competitors. Our 2 competitors would be both Bitwise and Girls Who Code. Bitwise is a huge competitor for us because they do teach HTML and CSS in the beginning of their programs. So, but what they do is they do accelerated training, which is something we don't do. So after in their classes, when they learn HTML and CSS, they go on to actually code and do web design with programs, whereas we stay with HTML and CSS. And they teach to all age groups, although mainly adults, whereas we only teach 4th graders to 8th graders. And Girls Who Code are a nonprofit organization that go around locally to schools in the district, and they promote a lot of feminism, which is something we don't do, and we cater to all genders, whereas they only cater to girls. So we as Delovan work with the younger generation and encourage coding and technology to get these students ready for their future.
So our classes are going to be a 1-week session for $40, Monday through Friday, so 5 days. But we also understand that some parents who have more than one child are going to have a little bit more of a financial struggle. So we do have a couple deals for them. If you have 2 students in our classes, that you only have to pay $70, which is $10 off. And if you have 3 or more students in our classes, we take a total of $25 off your purchase. Our goal for this year is to get 20 students per session, which is going to be a projected revenue of 240 students or $9,600. And as of right now, we do not have any cost for our company. We have found our TAM and our SAM. Our TAM is our total addressable market, which we found by finding how many students were in California for our age range of middle school and elementary, and then took out how many are actually interested in coding, which was 1,006,648 or $40,269,910. Our SAM we found by looking more at just Fresno Unified to see how many students first were in Fresno Unified, and then to take out the percentage that we believe would be interested in coding, which was 2,517 students, or $100,666.
So for our minimum viable product, we want to test out our product using a free class or open house, and to bring in our parents and our children that are interested. So we want to test this out by looking at how many students are going to be joining, how many parents are going to be interested, and how we're going to market and how our marketing works. So we're going to market, as I said before, using flyers and social media to this open house. And if our marketing works, we can tell by how many parents or students are going to come in. And if our marketing doesn't work for the open house, we will change it. And then we will interview the parents and children and ask them questions as to how they got interested, why they want to join our class, and if our curriculum works for them, and if they are interested and engaged. So thank you. Any questions or concerns?
Who's going first?
Do you want to go first?
And I'm not doing financials this time. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so $40 for a week. What is that time frame? So if I have a child, are they going 8 to 5? Are they going, what is the time frame?
They go from 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Okay, so that's 2 hours, so that's 10 hours total for $40.
Yes.
So you guys are you paying who's teaching them? What's your
$5,
hourly
yeah.
rate?
Yes. We were talking about that previously when we had first come up with our business. We had $35. We want to keep our prices reasonable because we do know that a lot of coding classes cost up to $200, and we're not trying to go too high because we are teaching students, and I know some parents may feel as though it might be a waste of time to pay more than $30 or something. But I do understand your concern, and we were talking about moving it up to 50.
And plus, we also have to count in how many students we're going to be in each session. So we're going to have 20 students in each session. So we will add each of those 40 up for each student, and that will be our total price.
Okay, so, and then I I guess my thought is, are you renting a space for this? So you'd be paying for your space, you'd be paying for Wi-Fi software maybe, and then the computers the students would use. So if you had 20 kids, would each kid have a computer in front of them?
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up because we are going to be using a classroom here at Patino, and that's the reason we have zero cost as of right now, because we're using the resources available to us given by the school. So here there's like laptops they can use, free Wi-Fi, and we as a company can just use any one of these rooms.
And the one concern that we do have to worry about is if they do break the laptops, that's on us to fix.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So these are young children that you're going to be teaching. Are any of you have any teaching certifications in order to teach coding, the HTML? Are you specialized in that area?
Recently, I have been taking some coding classes up at Bitwise, one of our competitors. I don't have a teaching degree of any kind. I don't know if you guys do either. But we at least know the basics of what to teach them. We just want to teach them the basics. We're not going to go like full on really into it. We're just going to be like, okay, here's the basics of how to do this and that.
Okay, so since they are young children, there's a liability issue. Parents are concerned because you're also high school students. Have you thought about that? How would you, if some parent came in and said, oh, there's no adult here, how would you, address that issue?
Yeah, we are hoping to have an adult, one of the teachers overseeing and just staying with us and also helping us within the classroom. They wouldn't be actively teaching the students because as that would be our job, but we would want someone there to just watch over as if they are certified to be there.
Couple questions. Okay. By the way, you guys did a really good job at the beginning of explaining what you do. Instead of throwing a bunch of acronyms, titles, and you explained what you do was really wonderful and a really good visual presentation. Wanted to touch on what you said the need was. You said there's 3 million students that don't have access to technology. That's the problem you identified. You didn't say you didn't have a problem with coding, they just didn't have an access to technology. So what did you mean by that? When you say they don't have an access to technology, they don't have access to computers, to iPhones, what did you mean?
By that, through the research that I did, it showed that those 3 million kids that don't have the access, that means like they don't have technology at all. The schools that they are going to, they use little to none. So that's why we are here, so they can use the laptops, the technology that we are trying to provide.
Okay, so when you're marketing, you're using social media that they don't have access to.
We are also using flyers, so what our first tactic was, and our main one, is to create flyers, and we're going to reach out to schools and ask them if they can send flyers home to students that they can bring to their parents.
So, and I'm just challenging you a little bit again on the marketing side.
Yeah.
You identified the problem, you don't have access to technology, and now you're being very specific about coding. So you haven't done anything to really, you brought technology to them by putting them in front of the computer, but you're assuming that all those people that don't have access to that technology want to be coders, if you will. And then you identified your competitors, and your differentiation to your competitors, like Bitwise, is that you do less. In other words, those same people can go to Bitwise, you specialize on this market, but that same market can go to Bitwise. So how do you differentiate yourself from Bitwise experience versus your experience with that same market?
We're teenagers and we're in high school, so I believe that we're more able to connect with these students. And our curriculum is going to be tailored specifically to our students. So we have different types of sessions. So one would be 4th graders just as them in one classroom. We're not putting everyone together. 5th and 6th graders would be in the same session, and 7th and 8th graders would also be in the same session. So we know that like 4th graders are not going to be able to type as well, so we are going to tailor our curriculum so it's more easier for them, whereas Bitwise, they just have set sessions.
So is that clearly communicated in your website and your social media that that's your differentiator?
Not as of yet, but that's what we are trying to work on to make sure we get every single detail so our buyers would know.
Okay, I think that's an important one to work on because it's not clear up front that here's the need, here's our solution, here's how we do it better than everybody else. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a few comments, a few questions. I definitely think that the problem is with coding, not necessarily the lack of technology. Because I don't really see how, if you teach people how to code, that's going to lead to them having technology suddenly. So I do think that it's very valuable, and I do think that there's a lot of opportunity there. I think that you guys do have something, which is great. I do think that your marketing needs to kind of be more focused. And instead of viewing Bitwise as a competitor, think of them as a potential ally. Because you never know if you can start hosting classes there with the technology that they have there. There's a lot of potential. Okay, and I'm not from Bitwise, so I'm just saying. Think of it.
No plug.
There's
Yeah,
one
no plug.
opportunity for growth.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Instead of viewing everybody as a competitor, think about ways that you can go outside. Also, what would be really cool is if this was an after-school program for even all of Fresno Unified, to where you were teaching these to other elementary schools, middle schools, or even high schools now in your own community, instead of reaching out to the public, reaching out to the schools. Because there's going to be easier avenues there than otherwise, than to individually get kids out. So stuff to think about for sure. And then just from a presentation standpoint, I think you guys did a really good job. One kind of gripe that I had is that you guys really downplayed your website. And you know, we have never seen it before. We don't know what problems it has. So I'd highly recommend not telling us what problems it has and just say, these are the features that we want to add in later on. Not, oh yeah, there's only one tab. Don't look at that. Don't worry about it. Just say, eventually we're gonna add in more tabs, we're gonna add in these features and these segments and whatnot. I think it'd be a much more solid presentation. Okay.
So, pretty much, just to add on to what everybody else has kind of said, I think if you're going to be, showing that your website, having website coders, that your website really needs to be stellar, because it's not, oh, I should go with these guys, right? So, I think you did a really good presentation, and I also agree with what you established as your market, but there was a disconnect between what you said your market was and what you're actually instructing. So somehow you need to show the value of instructing coding to these people, to the kids, and how that, and maybe show what the workforce demands are for coders and that kind of thing, and how that's ever increasing, or whatever the case may be. And that's the problem you're addressing. Anyways.
And one more suggestion that I had was, I don't know if you are familiar with Parent University. It is an organization within Fresno Unified where parents go to meetings and get information that they can use while their kids are in school. That would be a great place for you guys to potentially connect and maybe present in front of a group of parents, because that's who you want to kind of target, especially while you're here at Patino. I think your prices are probably fair. I don't know how you'll pay the teacher that's going to be staying beyond their time to stay with you. But yeah, think about your costs and stuff. When you guys are graduating, you won't have that space to utilize, so you may want to adjust your prices. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Good job.